at 7:41. And one of the huge stories that's come down is a list of some 200 sanctuary cities. All of this began boiling over when a woman was killed out in San Francisco by an illegal immigrant who had a record, who had been deported 5 times and had come back. He was on his 6th time back in this country. And we find that so many crimes have been committed by these felons who are in this country illegally. And one of the reasons is there are sanctuary cities that refuse to move them anywhere, refuse to deport them, refuse to jail them or anything else. And they named 2 sanctuary counties, Hillsborough County as well as Pinellas County. And Sheriff Bob Galtieri of Pinellas County joins us right now. And Sheriff, there are a lot of people questioning why we are a sanctuary county.
Well, Jack, we're not. I don't know where you're getting that information from. That website that's got it out there, that's one of the problems with anybody can post anything on the internet. It's absolutely not true. We've participated with ICE in their Secure Communities program for at least 10 years. Everybody that comes into the Pinellas County Jail has their fingerprints taken. They're run against the ICE database. If they're illegal, ICE is notified. If they give us the proper paperwork, we hold them for ICE. If they request us to notify them before they're released so they can come pick them up, we do that. So it's really a bunch of nonsense. It's really irresponsible for somebody to put that out there like that because it's absolutely not true in Pinellas County.
Yeah, that thing has popped up in a lot of different locations, and it's being looked at as gospel now, again, because it has come up in so many different locations, pretty much the same map.
The source of it is some advocacy group. It's not from the government. It's not from some credible source. It's some internet nonsense.
Right. It's from the Center for Immigration Studies.
And who are they?
Yeah.
They're nobody. Their information is totally wrong. They listed 7 counties, by the way, not just 2 that you mentioned.
Yeah.
Well, I know they mentioned Hillsborough, Pinellas, Hernando, and Pasco, and then 3 of the counties down south.
Right. But it's just not true, and we participated. In fact, I met 2 weeks ago up in Washington with one of the assistant secretaries from DHS. They're transitioning the Secure Communities program to a PEP or Priority Enforcement Program. I have a meeting coming up with them. We fully cooperate. We fully participate. We notify them. Immigration, though, and be clear about that, immigration is a federal issue. State and local law enforcement have absolutely no authority, 0 whatsoever, under any law to, quote, deport anybody or to take anybody into custody for any immigration violation. What we can do and should do is to cooperate with the federal government so the federal government can effectively do its job. And we do that 1,000% in Pinellas County. Always have and always will. But we can't deport anybody.
Now, could it be that ICE is allowing these people to go free once you all turn them over to them, or do you all know what happens to them afterward?
Sure, that's the problem. And the problem is ineffective immigration policy in this country. But that's by the federal government. That's by the administration, and has nothing to do. I can have 0 say in immigration policy. I can't make any decisions. I can't arrest anybody, deport anybody, hold anybody, charge anybody, 0, nothing. It's totally 100%. Now, once we notify ICE, here's the big problem: is we notify ICE for letting them out, but guess what? They don't come pick them up, and we are powerless then. Okay, if we notify them, say, look, this guy's here illegally. We followed your procedures. We've notified you. He's getting out at 5 p.m. today. We notify him hours or days ahead of time. ICE doesn't come. I can't hold somebody in the jail that state charges have been resolved, and I've told them to come pick them up. If they give us a court order or they give us some sort of legal process to hold them under their federal charges, by all means, we'll hold them all day long. But we're powerless. But that's where the breakdown is because the federal government, and what they'll tell you is they don't have the resources to deal with all these people. That's a federal government issue, not a state and local issue.
Well, Sheriff, can you tell us how often that happens, that they don't come to pick them up?
They don't come more than they do.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's all the time. And they're very limited when they're transitioning. And I encourage you and your listeners to do this, is to look at this new PEP, this Priority Enforcement Program that is the successor program to Secure Communities that's been around forever. They've narrowed the scope of it tremendously. It only involves people that have been sentenced in the county jail. The forms that they're going to give us now don't deal with that person that's arrested, okay, for on a crime. It only has to do with people who are sentenced. So they've even narrowed the scope of who they want even more. And you're going to see more of this because as people get arrested on various charges and they're here illegally, once the judge in the state court issues a bond or the person is released in some fashion, that form they're giving us now doesn't even tell us to notify them under those circumstances.
Sure. You said that Pinellas County is not involved in this. We contacted the people in Hillsborough County and got someone in Sheriff G's office said that they've been doing this since what, August? When was it?
I think it was.
Doing what?
That they've been releasing prisoners since August, Sanctuary City standard.
Well, I don't know about Hillsborough County. I can't speak to anything in Hillsborough County. I can speak to Pinellas County, and if we get a valid order from U.S. Immigration, from ICE, telling us to hold those people, by all means we hold them. If they come into the jail, we run everybody. We notify ICE. If ICE says they're illegal and they want us to notify them before they are released, we notify ICE before they're released. So I can't speak to anything about what happens in Hillsborough County, but as long as we get a valid order, there's a legal process, or the request to notify ICE, we do it. We've participated in secure communities for over 10 years now.
Yeah.
So, I can't hold anybody unless I got a valid court order, or the most I can do is to cooperate fully with ICE and notify them that this person is being released. And if you don't give me a court order, I'm going to have to release them, and giving them ample opportunity to get that court order, or for them themselves, they come over and pick them up and put them in federal custody. That's great. But I can't do that because we don't have the authority to do that.
Well, Sheriff, we surely appreciate your coming on board with us this morning on AM Tampa Bay. The Pinellas County Sheriff, Bob Galtieri, and he puts the blame where it certainly ought to be, and that's with ICE, which we've been hearing for a long time. They've been letting people go, and they are certainly doing that. And, Sheriff, thanks a million for being on board here this morning.
Thanks so much.
Okay. All right. You're welcome. Take care.